Hi guys, and welcome to XPlatform Gaming. Today we're going to be kicking off our series on The Division 2 by taking you through one of the missions in East Mall. We decided to start recording from level 10 onwards, as this would give us a chance to get a feel for the game and so that our videos are a bit different from everyone else's. There was a little bit of a problem recording the party chat, so for the first few videos in this series it would just be me commentating on the game, but later we'll get the full party chat and some additional camera angles as other members in the channel get their capture card sorted. So the mission we're working on here is the Air and Space Museum, where you have to investigate the True Sun's activity and shut down the weapons factory. Now you will have to excuse some of the times where I'm standing or in cover looking like I'm not doing a whole lot. These are times where I'm waiting for the rest of the party to get in position or asking them for help. One of these times is, in particular, is where I'm trying to take down this turret and just getting absolutely Swiss cheese by it. So you'll see that come up in just a second. Yeah, so this is the turret that I was talking about. When it's focused on you, it's really hard to kind of move or take it down, and as you can see, when I was hitting it, it just wasn't seeming to do a hell of a lot of damage. And a lot of the time you get bleeding on you, so that's why it's all coming up as red, and it's just really difficult for any kind of movement out of here. So I was just kind of alerting the rest of the party to the fact that there was a yellow guy down here that we needed to take out, and if they could just kind of get behind me and help me take out this turret. So once the yellow guy is down, we should be able to move on to the next section, but as you can see, just trying to take him down is proving to be a bit of a struggle. Now these guys also can put down other turrets after if the first one sort of goes down, so it's a good idea to take them out nice and quickly once you have taken out that turret.
Salvaging and repurposing anything they can from this place. They're crafty bastards, I'll give them that.
One thing that you might not have noticed as well is that if you are running around in a party, if you're in quite close proximity to one of the party members when they open a loot box or one of those restocks, then it actually automatically does it for yourself as well, so you don't need to then go in and do it.
And blow the shit out of anything too dangerous.
So on this section here, I just thought it'd be a good idea to hide down behind this box and sort of plan my position. So I thought this would be a good place to get a turret down whilst I'm waiting for the other guys to get in position.
Short bursts!
So as you can see, this is far from a good vantage point. So I thought it's probably a good idea to move, because I'm just not seeing anyone here. It's also a good idea to look before you move in this game, because I did not see these guys coming up behind me. So I definitely would not have been prepared if they all sort of turned around and started focusing their fire on me. So I was looking on the minimap here and it was telling me that an enemy was standing right in front of me. It turns out he wasn't right in front of me, he was to the side, so that could have been quite costly, but managed to get away with it right there. Whilst I'm busy here, the other two were busy taking out the one of the bosses, so I think they went down. And then we had to kind of work out what to do in this area here, and it took us far too long to realise that in order to disable these things we should just shoot them. So in fact I think after a couple of these enemies that come through, we just ended up sort of wandering around, and I think it's by accident that we found out that we had to kind of shoot them. Once the workbenches are destroyed, we can move on to the next area, but there'll be a couple of guys that come through that you'll have to sort of kill first before you'll be able to move on.
Get easy, I'm here.
Things up there.
Keep moving. You still got 2 halls to clear.
Okay, so those were the couple of guys that I was talking about, so once they're down you should be able to just move on.
Hostile radio intercepted.
Division's on my 6! So cut through the planetarium.
Okay, so when we first got into this room, I didn't realise at first that the True Sons were shooting us from above, so I could have probably been a bit more help if I'd have actually looked around a bit more. But once I did see where they were shooting us from, I was quite effective with the old sniper.
Time to kill.
Go for headshot!
One other thing that I really like in this game is the parkour setting, which allows you to auto jump or climb whilst sprinting without you having to sort of press any of the buttons for it. But sometimes this also leads to doing some actions that you might not want to do, such as jumping over cover straight into a firefight. So if at any point you do see me doing this, then you also see me panic and try and run back into cover. Most of the time I think going down before I actually manage to make it to safety. So I do believe that that guy was the last for this bit, so we can move on to the next area. So the next bit that's coming up here, just sort of as we go through and enter the sort of open space again, was one part of the game that really made me realise how important it was to have a party for certain missions. So I can see how this mission is quite soloable, so you know you'd have to do a lot of moving around and there's lots of cover that you'd need to find. But our little group is kind of made up of two sort of long range, so we've got like snipers, and then obviously you know secondaries, we've got like close range weapons. Yeah, so our main focus was having two snipers and a flanker. So that was quite useful to sort of cut through the onslaught of enemies, especially in certain situations. So you know, obviously the two snipers take up a vantage point, and then the flanker sort of stops anyone else from coming around and then flanking us.
I'll get behind you. We can't lose it. Assassination down!
I hear you! Frag deployed!
Yeah, so I think this was one of the moments really where it definitely showed about the makeup of our group being sort of right for this mission, because we, as two snipers, were kind of sat together, but we could, you know, sort of be looking in different directions, and our flanker had already sort of gone round to kind of get close quarters with the other guys, and we were just able to sort of stay behind the cover that we were in, and just focus on firing at the other guys who were running through to us. So without having too much sort of moving or, you know, sort of running around having to keep swapping weapons, this was really helpful.
Need to reload. I hear you, loud and clear. What did you do?
I was a bit annoyed that that missed him. I think although this game is really good and there's been loads of changes made since the beta, there are still a couple of hitboxes and things that are not quite right. We have come across a couple of little bugs and things in the game, where like for certain party members, completing a mission hasn't actually awarded them anything in terms of the mission not saying that it's completed. There's been other times where we've done activities in some locations and they haven't counted again for every single sort of group member. But then there's been other times where it's worked in our benefit. So for instance, if we, you know, restocked or I think it was like resupply at a certain area, every single member counted towards that. So it would say like you need to restock in a certain area 3 times. Well, if we've got 3 members, we only had to do it all at the same time, in one location, and it would count for the whole thing. So yeah, there's still a couple of things that need working out, I think, but one of the other examples is just coming up here. So as I go through here, I was screaming down my mic on party chat with this yellow sniper guy. It just didn't seem like my bullets were hitting him at all. As you can see, like I get right on him here. That's definitely where he's standing, and it just seems to miss. The next one was my fault, but then after that, it just kind of seemed like there was a problem hitting him for some reason.
Mechanical components detected.
Agent, have Isaac scan the parts.
So these guys with the LMG are really annoying, especially when they go prone, because they just suppress you so hard, and you can't even hit them back without getting riddled with bullets. So it can be really difficult to take them out, especially like when they're one of the yellow guys like this. Shocking aim there. Okay, so after collecting all the loot here, you can just move on to the next section. It took me a little while to gather my bearings, but once I realised. That's another instance of that parkour thing just happening when you least expect it. I think the thing is with these looter shooters as well, is that especially for the Division 2, all of the little bits and pieces that you pick up, like the components and things like that, they're really sort of key for crafting materials. And if you want a really powerful weapon, you really need to sort of get as many of those as possible. So anytime it looks like I'm making an effort to go and pick up some kind of crap loot, it is specifically so I can craft something else later on. Now, being a sniper here, I thought I'd just hide and use it as a vantage point. But then as soon as the enemy turret went down, I kind of decided it was just too much effort, because after so much, it takes so much damage. It's just really annoying. So it's just, you know what, let's move on. If I focus my turret on their turret and just move out of the way and go and take someone else out. one of the things I really like about our party is that we've all kind of picked skills to complement each other. So you can see I keep calling out my medical drone to sort of heal the armor, but I keep sending it off to heal the armor on the flanker instead, because that way it just means that he can keep going and sort of firefights, just leaving me and the other sniper off to just keep sort of picking them off at range. I don't think that's the same turret that was down originally. I think that's probably been replaced, but yeah, still, it's much easier when there's 3 of you focusing on it. So this bit here is pretty much the end of the mission, but also where we'd meet one of the hardest bosses we've faced so far in the game. He just seemed to soak damage and just mince you with his gun. There's also a lot of annoying ads here, so it's a good idea for one person to sort of draw the boss's fire while someone else takes the ads out. There was one guy, I think it was one of the ads on this one, it was really annoying. He threw a lot of Molotov cocktails, and it was just, the fire just seems to spread like crazy, and you never really expect it. So you've got to definitely watch out for those on here, especially if you're doing this mission solo. Like, you see that there, so it didn't actually hit me that time. So I thought, oh yeah, no problem, I'm safe. But then you'll see in a little while, I do get hit, and I am around the corner, pretty much exactly as that just happened. But yes, the fire seems to get me that time. So again, that could just be one of the bugs. So you can see I'm standing in the fire, and there's just no damage at all there. And then obviously I got a bit too cocky and thought it must be impossible for me to catch fire, but no, as you can see it does still happen. So this is another instance of me using my drone to heal the flanker, but it turns out it went down anyway. So we've all got pretty much level appropriate guns at this point, so they should all be doing quite a lot of damage. As you can see, this boss just taking every single shot we've got. So it's just been sort of disabled by one of the bits and pieces that, sorry, one of the skills that the flanker's got. So that definitely gives us a lot of time to be able to focus on shooting him, or hitting him whilst he's not shooting us. This is one of the times when the parkour thing happened again, so I didn't really want to go point blank range against him, and as you can see, it didn't work out for me. So I did have to call one of my party members over to come and revive me. But that's pretty much the mission done. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share our videos, and much more content will be on its way. We'll also have lots of other cool stuff coming to our channel in the form of retro games, gaming news, and pretty much anything gaming related that you guys request. So please leave suggestions and requests in the comments, and we'll do our best to make them happen. So thanks guys. I've been Daniel from XPlatform Gaming, and yeah, see you in the next one.
Throw in the fact that the settlements can scavenge those workbenches and tools, and I'd say it's been a pretty good day.